Hello, this is Dr. Barr, and we're here having a fireside chat as we discuss the recorder. You are a new recorder family, and together we're going to be learning how to play this instrument, an instrument that can sound beautiful, but it can also sound absolutely horrible. So I'm here to help you with some helpful tips. The first tip is that this is a woodwind instrument. And as a woodwind instrument, you need wind to play it. So as you can see, it's one piece. At the very top, there is a very tiny hole that you're going to be blowing through. So we're going to use very soft air. Before even playing the recorder, you may want to have your child take a cotton ball, tear it in half, and then put the cotton ball in their hand. When they blow the cotton ball, it should not leave their hand. If they blow too hard, the cotton ball will blow off their hand. That's the same type of air that will be in the recorder, causing your ears to ring with horrendous sound. You want soft air, and it should look like this. The cotton ball is barely moving. That's how soft that air is. Now, the second thing that you're going to need is warm air. So rather than a cold air, there is warm air. And you may know the difference from when, for example, you blow like this, or if you blow like you're steaming up a window. So that's what you're going to have your child practice. Hold their hand like this, or hold your hand and have them blow on your hand or their hand as if they're steaming up a window. You should feel hot air or warm air. That's the air that we want going through the recorder. A slow, warm air. Now, the third thing that you're going to be wanting to do is to make sure that all of the holes, when they are playing different notes, that they're sealed completely. That's where you're going to start getting the squeaking sound. There's only so much air that can go through this instrument. I like to remind my students to look at the end. It's not a trumpet. It's not a tuba. It's a recorder, and there is a teeny tiny little hole where the air is going to come through. If you put too much air through this instrument, it doesn't have any place to go other than to leak out the other fingering holes, causing a terrible squeal. So you're going to want to use soft, warm air, and then you're going to want to make sure that whatever note you're playing, it is completely sealed. Think of a Rubbermaid container. A Rubbermaid container, if sealed properly, is not going to leak. Same thing with the recorder. When you are pressing down on the holes, you should actually see a ring on your fingers. Until you know how to seal correctly, that ring is very important. It validates that you're doing it right. Also, make sure that your left hand is on top. You might say, oh, but my child wants to use his right hand on top. No, they don't. We always use our left hand on top. It's the same for clarinet. It's the same for flute. It's the same for saxophone. It'll be much easier when your child is learning to make sure that there are enough fingers to cover all the holes by placing left hand on top. So we've worked on soft air, warm air. We've worked on the right amount of air so it doesn't squeal, and we've sealed the holes. We've done all those things, and you're still hearing a sound that you don't like. It doesn't sound pretty. That could be a very small percentage of you who will experience the careless student or the careless parent. And this is my advice to you. There is a hole, and yes, it does fit things, but it shouldn't fit anything. Meaning that whether it's a cleaning rod or a tissue or a chamois or whatever you might want to put through the recorder to clean it out. Or it doesn't sound right. Maybe I should try to clean it out and then dry it. You're going to end up with a decoration with something stuck inside it. We will not be able to get it out. You will never, and I repeat, never put anything inside the recorder. There may be a very rare opportunity where Dr. Barr may put a pipe cleaner in your recorder. That pipe cleaner is going to soften the sound some, but only Dr. Barr is going to do that. But you say to yourself, it still doesn't sound quite right. There's nothing stuck inside it. Then your child may have dropped it. Check your instrument for cracks, and maybe that crack is someplace in the instrument where it is now causing air to leak out. Again, this is very rare, but we've gone through all the different scenarios that should help you produce a nice sound. Your child is also going to have a lanyard. This lanyard will be going around your recorder and it can go around their head. And that way, when I say the words, please dangle or rest, they can dangle the recorder without playing it. So if you need, for example, to talk on the phone or have a meaningful conversation with your spouse and you don't want to have a recorder accompanying you, you can use that same terminology. Dangle, please dangle. And they should be able to do this without playing. Now, for order them to be able to have a beautiful sound, they are going to need to practice. And it's not just any type of practicing. Perfect practice makes perfect. So I'm giving each of my students a special phone number. This is what I call my recorder hotline. They can call this number anytime they're practicing if they want to play something for me, or if you hear something and you say, you know what? I'm not sure you're doing that correctly. I want you to call Dr. Barr and play it for her. This recorder hotline number, it'll go directly to my voicemail. I might not be able to get back to you immediately, but I will be able to address the issue the next day in class. And because I see the students every day, it'll be something that'll help me in determining which students need more of my assistance. Each class has 28 recorder players. For me to hear each one as a private lesson is going to be impossible. However, if your child is at home, they're proud of what they're doing, they want to test on a song, or they just have some concerns about a sound or a fingering, they can call my recorder hotline and I'll be able to listen to that before class. Again, that number is only for recorders. It's not a number that we abuse by calling the number and talking about other issues at school. This is a number specifically for my recorder students. And yes, I still have students calling that number years later because they got out the recorder again. The other thing that I want to talk about is how to clean the recorder. A lot of people think that a recorder needs to be cleaned thoroughly on the inside with swiping things through. Again, we said not to do that. So how do you clean it? A warm soapy bath is fine. Lay it out to dry. If you just need something quick because your recorder touched the floor or, oh my goodness, the dog licked it, you can get a quick antibacterial wipe and just wipe off the mouthpiece, wipe off the fingers. That's going to be just fine. This is not a complicated instrument that needs really special cleaning. The other thing that I'm going to talk about is respect. In class, there's 28 students playing the recorder. When I am teaching everyone. If one child determines that it is their most important right that they should be playing while the other children are learning, it keeps us all from progressing. That child is being very disrespectful. I take this very seriously because it would be the same as if not just talking, but somebody was actually shouting while the teacher is teaching. In order for us to be able to control that, I'm going to need your support. I'm only going to need to do this maybe once or twice, and then I believe the students will get the idea. But right now, you're going to pause this after I talk to you, and you're going to look at your student and say, that will not happen. No, never will I have to go and do that. If your child is playing while I am teaching, I will give one gentle reminder. After that, if they play again while we are teaching or learning, I'm going to come over and I'm going to take the recorder. I will wrap it up in a piece of paper that explains that your child today was disrespectful playing their recorder. I'll have their name on the outside of it, and then this little package all wrapped up will be waiting for you to pick up in the office. Not your child, but for you. Does that mean that you have to park and come inside to pick up the recorder? Yes, it does. Is that inconvenient? Yes, I know it is. So you're going to stop right now and you're going to talk to your child about how disrespectful that will be for all of the children who are learning to hear them practicing as if taking a private lesson rather than letting us all learn together. So pause right now. Make sure you discuss that before we go on. Great, and we're back. So finalizing everything that you need to know about the recorder. Again, we are looking at a woodwind instrument using soft air. We're looking at using slow, warm air that sounds like a hot sound, hot air. We're sealing the holes. We are not being careless and dropping it or sticking something up inside it. We're going to make sure we practice perfectly. Use the recorder hotline for tips and for letting me know how things are going at home. We're looking at cleaning our recorder, but only by giving it a soapy bath, wiping off the mouthpiece. And we're going to make sure that we don't play in class. The last thing you're going to need to start recorder is something to keep your music in. We're looking at a 3-ring binder. I'll provide you with all the music, fingering charts, everything that you need. If your child does not bring these things home to practice, there's not much I can do to help you. Make sure their name is on the folders so that as all the folders start collecting in my room, we know who to get them returned to. The recorder, when played properly, is going to have a very sweet, beautiful sound. You're sure you can look up videos on YouTube, but here is a quick song and demonstration to give you an idea of what your recorder should sound like after they learn their first song. The first song is going to be Hot Cross Buns, and it will sound like this. A little bit later, they're going to be able to play a song. Hopefully, this is later in 4th grade, but they may be able to play this song. Again, very soft, sweet sounding instrument. If you hear your child squealing, if you hear your child making noises that don't sound like that, rewind this videotape and go at it again. Friends, this is a wonderful opportunity for your child to begin playing an instrument. I'm in this with you. If you think hearing one recorder practicing is bad, I have 28 at the same time. So we're in this together. It's going to be a great experience, and I promise you by the concert, you will be proud. Thank you for watching, and have a wonderful playing experience. Take care. Bye-bye.